All right, this is the original theater, built in 1871. We just celebrated our 150th anniversary a few years ago. We don't know what was here before, but we do know that there was a couple of battles of the Civil War, and during the second battle of Cynthiana during the Civil War, this entire block burned. So there was nothing but rubble, this whole downtown area. And so some of the ghosts we have here, spirits, we don't know who they are, or we don't know the story behind them. They could be connected to what was here before, when town suffered such a calamity, or they could be connected to the theater and stuff like that. We don't know. But we do know it's the oldest theater in Kentucky that's still operating. We haven't been able to find one that's older than 152 years. And the ghosts that we have here, there's a lady in a white dress, long white dress all the way to the ground, long sleeves all the way to her wrist. People who have seen her, and I have not, but there's been probably about a dozen people who have seen her, witnessed her, say she looks very Victorian in dress. Like it's either a Victorian nightgown or a wedding gown or something like that. She's been seen primarily in this stairway here that goes up to the second floor, or on the second floor. She's never been seen in the new theater that was built in 1941, which is 82 years old. That's the current theater we use right now. So the lady in the white dress. There's also some children's spirits that are here as well. And usually when they're here, there's been identified at least 3, possibly more. They can be very playful when you're here. They've been seen mostly by children. Children see them, and women seem to have experiences with them as well.
You got a connection to kids, so
I do.
she works in daycare, she loves kids, so she's got a connection. Maybe you'll see them.
Maybe.
Let them know, and sometimes they'll play, and we've had women feel like something's playing with their hair, or tugging on their jacket, or something like that. So the children seem very, very friendly towards women when they're here. There used to be a spirit here, a male spirit, that was a very angry spirit. Never harmed anybody. We've never had a spirit harm or scratch or any of that kind of stuff. But, he would tell you, you'd get an EVP of him saying, shut it off, get out of here, turn off the light, that kind of stuff. He's not been seen or heard from in several years. And so he may have been connected with the murder that happened in the storefront up here. It used to be a lawyer's office. It's part of this building, but it's not connected to the theater. There was a murder there in the late 80s, early 90s. And so this male spirit, very angry spirit, was here. He went on, hasn't been seen for several years. When the guy who supposedly murdered him passed on.
Was that the guy who got shot? Because I had done a little bit of research, and they said somewhere on White Street there was the guy who got shot out in front of his office. So that was
it was actually in the office. It was this little office right here in this little corner area here.
Okay.
And if you could open that door, you would be right in there. Which, when people were getting EVPs of that spirit, it was mainly in this area right here. So that's why people think it was connected to that. There was never no evidence. He never said his name or anything on the EVPs. EVPs are fairly common here in the building. You also maybe hear whistling. We have a spirit here who whistles. Most of the time it's like short bursts, like I can't whistle, that's the best I can do. But there have been times that people have been whistling the tune, and then it gets whistled back to them note for note.
Oh, wow.
And that has gone on a couple of bars back and forth like that. When that happens, that's really, really cool. It doesn't happen all the time, but I've personally experienced that with some people I was with. I've seen the little boy. I'll show you where that is as we take it to a little bit. That's kind of the overview of the different spirits that we have here. Okay, let's head on into the main theater. Here. Very Art Deco. We have tried, me and my partners have owned this for about 16 years now. When we came in, it was in really, really bad shape. So we have worked really hard to kind of restore it
to a modern theater, but that keeps that very Art Deco 1940s feel to it. So
I can definitely like. So it feels like it almost looks like you're in a different era.
yeah, yes. And then when we go upstairs to the original theater, which goes back 150 years, that's like stepping into a totally new, different building. But in here, back here on this back part of the theater, there's what we call a shadow man. He's just a tall, dark shadow that seems to hang out here, or he's been seen and actually captured on video coming out of this section of the wall where this mirror is, and then walking and disappearing through here. So it's our belief that this maybe used to be a door to the back of the old theater, and this shadow man is just a residual spirit just going back about his business, leaving work and going home for the day. We don't know what was here before this part of the theater was built. Some people have said there was a couple of buildings and houses here. So the children's spirits seem to hang out in this theater a whole lot. So since we don't know who they are, they could be connected to the houses that were here before, connected to this ground, or they could just be connected to the theater in some way. We don't know. You know, in theaters, there's always a lot of good energy. People are usually happy. You know, we are a theater that shows movies, but our screen can go up and we can build a set and have a play. We have a couple of live plays a year. In fact, we're currently working on a set for the next live play, which happens next month. And so behind the curtain, behind the screen, it's so junky and full, you probably won't be able to go back there.
Right.
But you can go through the curtains, the black curtains there, and go up behind the stage and behind the set. So you can explore back there.
Okay.
And in the back, looking at the stage, the back left, when you go around that way, there's some old wooden stairs that go down underneath the stage to where there's some old dressing rooms down there.
Okay.
So it's a fairly cool place to explore. And you'll find a big door down there that goes into our boiler room and fan room. This was one of the first buildings in Kentucky to actually have air conditioning. And the way it worked, it would pump up water from an underground aquifer that's underneath this building and run that cool water through coils and blow air over it. We still use that air conditioning today. It actually works good enough to cool this whole building. So when you go down there, sounds like the fan's on, so it's going to be really noisy, but you can see down there, it's kind of cool to go down there and look at how it works. Some people think that because there's an underground water aquifer under this building, that may be generating some energy as well for the spirits, and that may be one of the reasons there's so many of them here.
I've heard that theory, kind of like the stone tape theory too, how energy kind of gets trapped in like certain, like I guess loops, as you would say, and a lot of people believe like, you know, limestone, things like that, and certain types of rock actually hold energy. So I think that's kind of neat.
Well, this is built on a big old slab of limestone. All Cynthiana is on limestone.
Okay.
Underneath that is an underground aquifer that runs right underneath the stage. The little boy. I have seen a little boy in here. 15 years ago when we first bought the building, I was in here by myself. I really didn't believe in ghosts at that time. But I walked out onto the balcony, and as I was looking into this theater, I was the only one in the building. All the doors were locked, all the lights were on. There was a little boy standing right down there by the stage. He was about stage height, so about this tall, so about 6 years old. He was standing down there. I saw him. I stopped because he shouldn't have been there. He looked as solid as any of us. And then he ran through those black curtains on the side where the exit is, and he just disappeared as he went through the curtains. The curtains never moved. And so we've had many people over the years, when there's a movie playing, they'll come to us and they'll say, someone's letting their little boy play on the stage, and he keeps peeking out around the curtain.
Oh, wow.
So people have seen the little boy. I haven't been the only one to see him. There's also a little girl here. We think the name of the girl is Anna. She usually talks to other little kids, but I think she is one of the ones that's very friendly towards women who are here, who are friendly with them.
You're definitely going to be making some friends tonight.
So Anna
Sounds
is
like
her
it.
name. There's many groups have identified a third child here, but we don't know a name. The name Loretta keeps coming up. Some groups think that that's the lady in the white dress. Some thinks that that's a little girl. So we don't have enough evidence to put that on there, but we do have a really good EVP of a group asking Loretta to say her name, and you get a repeat of her name in a female voice that's not clear enough to tell how old she is. So you may have seen that on YouTube. I think that's out
I was
there.
going to say, I saw a couple of videos. Yeah.
Let's go upstairs. Just a couple more places to. Several times on this stairway here. She's been seen in that mirror on the opposite side of the stairway, standing on the stairway, looking over someone's shoulder. She's been seen walking up the stairway, and the guy who saw her walking up the stairway is one of my partners, best friends since high school. So I have every reason to believe him, and he described her as actually interacting with the environment, like actually holding on to
Handrails kind
to
of
the
thing with that.
handrails, yep, and walking up. So you walked up this way. She's been seen in this hallway several times. This hallway, a lot of groups describe as one of the most active places in the building. There was one group that actually said there was a vortex. Is that a term?
I've heard it
And
used.
it goes that this is somewhere up here. The veil is a lot thinner, and so that's why there's a lot of evidence usually captured up here. A lot of EVPs. Whistling seems to be loudest in this hallway here, when you hear the whistling in this hallway and then in the original theater there. We're going to go out on the balcony real quick and in the projection room, then we'll go in there and then up on the third floor. There's some restrooms up here if you guys need to use the restrooms up here, and there's some downstairs in the theater as well.
You heard that for me? Better as the witcher though.
This is our projection room, where all the magic happens. The lady in white's been seen in here. Actually, the first time she was seen back in the 60s by the projectionist that used to be in here. Back then, the projectionist had to stay in the room with the movie because film was very flammable, and there used to be two projectors. So you'd put a reel on one and play it. If you've ever seen an old movie, there's these little dots that appear during the movie. Y'all know what those are?
I always knew they were cigarette burns.
Cigarette burns. Nope. The little dot up in the corner, when you see the first dot, it's telling the projectionist to get ready to play the next reel. And then two dots appear, that's the signal to push the start button. So if a projectionist was really good, he would watch for that dot and start it on the second dot, and the next reel would start as the first reel was coming off. And so you play. So they had to stay up here. And so the projectionist was up here watching for his dot. He turned around, and right there in front of him, about a foot in front of him, was the lady in white. So first time she was ever described as actually appearing, and that was, in the 1960s. But her dress is very much older than that. Some people think she's Victorian, maybe late 1800s or early 1900s. But we're all digital now, thanks to Robert Kirkman, creator of The Walking Dead. When Hollywood went away from film and went digital, Mr. Kirkman's from here, and Tony Moore, the artist. So we call ourselves the hometown of The Walking Dead. He heard that we were out of the movie business, so he donated a projector and screen for us.
That's awesome. We did check out the mural, so we parked back there, so we got to see the mural.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wanted to get a full picture of it before we leave.
Yeah.
There's cars in the way.
Yeah. So So you're welcome to be in here. I'll turn this light out as we go. But this isn't the most active spot. If I was going to spend your time somewhere, it'd be downstairs in the main theater, up here in this room, or over in the old theater, which I'll show you. But right now we're going to go out and you can see the horseshoe balcony up there. So there's another level. I'll take you up there real quick and show you that. But we've turned this kind of into a music listening lounge. So every second Thursday of the month, we have a singer-songwriter showcase. And we bring songwriters from throughout Kentucky, and we bring them up here and fill this room up.
There you go, Terry.
You a songwriter? We also have, since this kind of space has been cut up over the years, it used to be wide open and the stage would have been over there, but the stairway comes up there now. So there's a space over there, so we've built an escape room. So we have an escape room experience that we've written based upon the lady in the white dress. You know, since we don't know who she is, we made up a story that she was a murdered actress, and you have to figure out who murdered her and find
Kind of
her
like
murder.
Clue. That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Might just do that.
So,
Yeah.
Are these like vintage actual
Yeah.
film rings?
Yep.
I did not know they were that big.
We found those here. Most of them weren't. Those are different. We found about 6 of those in here. Most of the films were about that big. And for some reason, those came a little bit bigger. So if you come over here,
Something done tugged at me over here.
did it?
Yeah, I was over here going, well, I'm not close enough to the chair or the table, and I felt it.
Like if you stand right here, right in this spot here, and talk, the acoustics in this room is so perfect. It creates kind of a bubble right here, and everything is amplified. In this room, the children are very active. The children, especially the little girl, we've had children. This is where we do our Ghost Walk presentation, and we have had children come up to their mother, and even my granddaughter when she was about 3. It happens to kids that are about 3 years old. They'll come up and they'll say, "There's a little girl over in the corner that wants me to play with her." And you know, this has happened about a half a dozen times. And you look over there, there's nobody there, but they insist that there's a little girl here that likes to play with me.
I do see kids, have that extra sense because, their imagination hasn't closed everything off yet, whereas we don't want to, we don't think about that kind of stuff. It's
Right.
not there, but it could be there. So.
Right. Yeah, that happens frequently. This building has proven that to be the case because kids will have experiences. And in this room, women, this is one of the places where, during our Ghost Walk presentation, women will feel their clothes being tugged on or their hair being played with.
I absolutely believe that. So I was close enough to that table before it hit me. I was already feeling.
Yeah, and you can feel there's a bit of energy in this room. I feel the goosebumps now, going up my spine, and that. Sometimes you come into this theater, it's perfectly normal, feels perfectly fine. There's sometimes you come in here and you just feel that there's something else in here with you. I feel that right now, so we're ready to show the last thing they can run in. I'm No, this is a good room.
During their steps.
Yeah, see. I was focused on the screen.
This is the balcony. This is from where I saw the little boy standing down there. This can be a fairly active place too. In fact, in the fall, and you guys will have to come back in October, we do a ghost walk, and we've done it for about 15 years now. We have 1,000 people come to take our ghost walk.
I heard that y'all have one of the best in Kentucky, actually. We've only been to one.
I've been to.
Oh, you've been to 2? I've been to 1 then. But I want to check this one out because when I've done my research on this place, I've done research on the whole thing, and it actually told you about some of the different spots. And I was like, there's so much history there.
This is a very haunted city, so we take groups out for about an hour outside and walk, show you the haunted buildings and tell their stories, and then bring you in here to the old theater and give a presentation of evidence that groups have caught. So if you all catch any evidence, send it in, pictures, videos, EVPs, send it in, and
Definitely.
we'll put it in our presentation. And then after that, we tell groups, hey, go into the theater, take pictures and stuff like that. A lot of our best picture evidence has come after the ghost walk as groups are just in the theater taking pictures. They've gotten pictures of spirits sitting down in the seats downstairs. 2 years ago, a woman was over here and took a picture this way, and there's a white dress, a fully formed white dress floating in the air, no feet under it, no head, but it's right there, and there's other people milling around, so nobody saw a floating dress, or they would have been reacting to it. But I mean, it's really, really cool evidence, and there's other things that's been captured as well. We have a picture that we caught of a lady in a white dress. Before we had this heater here, there was something standing here. This is a segregated balcony from the days of segregation. So maybe the only one in Kentucky that's left. But this theater was added on to in 1941. That was still the era of segregation. So there's the lady in the white dress is actually standing in there looking out at us because we were on stage trying to take a picture for a brochure. We were trying to get a really good picture. Some lights and everything was on, but you see this white shadowy figure standing right here.
The lady in white, has anybody said anything about her skin depiction?
She's white with shoulder-length brown hair. Those who have seen her have all said that. Now there is a few EVPs, and it's not very common, but some people have caught EVPs in this section, and the voice sounds very distinctly African American woman. And that would make sense for this area to be that. But EVPs have been captured up here. The lady in white has been seen up here, and like I said, that floating white dress was captured up here as well.
There's a bunch of stationary cameras. We got it covered.
So the seats here in the middle are original to this build of the theater. So we've reupholstered these. We're down there. We've replaced all of those because those weren't original when we came in. So we felt no need to keep old 1980s seats. So we got new seats for down there.
So is this extra to watch the film from up here?
No, same amount. Now our booths, we built some VIP booths with some nice seats. We try to charge a little extra for those when we can get them for plays and stuff. You can rent a booth.
Okay. It does not want to focus in for some reason.
All right, 2 more stops and we'll be done. If you have any questions, please ask.
The numbers just get.
Is that you making that go off? If you can make that go off, make that ball light up. Or knock it off of the table over there. Are you mad? Is this the lady in white? Is it one of the kids?
Farther.
Do you like this other device better?
Sure.
He said sure.
Okay.
Look. Good job.
Awesome. Okay, you got it to light up. Can you do something else for me? Can you knock it in the floor? Oh, maybe so.
How?
No.
You gotta touch that thing.
We're gonna do it one more time.
Because he did do that too, showing me the fingerprints on the ceiling.
That's so weird though.
Try it again. Are you messing with this?
I told you, you gotta touch it. It actually has to have a touch or vibration of some sort. So unless you was... Oh, that's cool. You really like that ball, huh? There's a couple more around this theater too if you want to mess with them.
Yeah.
Watching this behind Aaron. Aaron's asleep, so. Oh, that's the recorder. What the fuck is that? That motherfucker just turned his Cable.
Is it
Cable or table?
They said cable.
There's all
Torture.
We're not trying to torture you. We just want to know you're here.
We're not here to hurt you. We just want to talk to you and get to know your story.
Is the beeping from that device torture? Is it too annoying?
Male?
Okay.
Are we talking to a male? What's your name? What? Can you turn the lights back on for us, please? Do you not like the lights being on? Why do you hang around here?
Flashlight.
Flashlight? Oh, you see my flashlight on my phone? I'm sorry. Do you want me to turn it off? Look, it's off now.
Is that better?
Are you messing with the lights?